There once was a man named Naboth who had a vineyard. The vineyard was in Jezreel, close to the palace of Ahab, king of Israel, whose palace was in Samaria. Ahab said to Naboth one day, "Let me have your vineyard to use as a vegetable garden, since it is close to my palace. In exchange, I will give you a better vineyard, or if you prefer, I will pay whatever it is worth." But Naboth replied, "The Lord forbids that I should give you the inheritance of my ancestors." So Ahab went home depressed and angry because of what Naboth the Jezreelite had said. So King Ahab lay on his bed depressed and refused to eat. Now King Ahab had a wife, a wicked and idolatrous woman named Jezebel. Jezebel was not from the nation of Israel, but was the daughter of the king of Tyre named Ithbaal. Jezebel was an idol worshiper, and because of it, she led her husband, King Ahab, into idol worship of the pagan deity Baal. Jezebel noticed that something was wrong with her husband, and she asked him, "Why are you so depressed? Why won't you eat?" He answered her, "I went to the vineyard near the palace, and I spoke to Naboth the Jezreelite, and asked him to sell his vineyard. And I told him, if he prefer, I will give him another vineyard in its place. But he said, I will not give you my vineyard. It is my family's inheritance." Jezebel his wife said, "Is this how you act as king over Israel? Get up and eat. I'll get the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite." Now culture reveals that a wife is supposed to be in submission to her husband. But Queen Jezebel, or should I say the witch Jezebel, often switched roles and seemed to be in charge of her husband King Ahab. So she wrote letters in King Ahab's name, placed his seal of his signet ring on them, and sent them to the elders and the nobles who lived in Naboth's city with him. In those letters she wrote, "Proclaim a day of fasting and seat Naboth in a prominent place among the people. But seat two scoundrels opposite him, and have them bring charges that he has cursed both God and the king. Then take him out and stone him to death." So the elders and the nobles who lived in Naboth's city did as Queen Jezebel directed in her letters that she had written. They proclaimed a fast, and seated Naboth in a prominent place among the people. Then the two scoundrels accused Naboth before the people, saying, "Naboth has cursed both God and the king." So they seized him and took him outside the city and stoned him to death. Then they sent word to Queen Jezebel, "Naboth has been stoned to death." As soon as Jezebel heard that Naboth had been stoned to death, she said to King Ahab, "Get up, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite that he refused to sell to you. He is no longer alive. He's dead." When King Ahab heard that Naboth was dead, he got up and went down and took possession of Naboth's vineyard. Then the word of the Lord came to the prophet Elijah, "Go down to meet King Ahab of Israel, who rules in Samaria. He is now in Naboth's vineyard, where he has gone to take possession of it. Say to him, this is what the Lord God says. Have you not murdered a man and seized possession of his property? This is what the Lord said concerning you. In the place where the dogs licked up Naboth's blood, dogs will lick up your blood, yes, yours. Because you have sold yourself to do evil in the eyes of the Lord, he says, I am going to bring disaster on you. I will wipe out your descendants and cut off from you every last male of your descendants in Israel, slave or free. I will make your house like that of King Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and King Baasha, the son of Ahijah, your predecessors, because you have aroused my anger and have caused sin in Israel. And also concerning your wife Jezebel, dogs will devour Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. Dogs will eat those belonging to Ahab who live in the city, and the birds will feed on those who live in the country. There was never anyone like Ahab, who sold himself to do evil in the eyes of the Lord, urged on by his wicked wife Jezebel. She cursed her very name for all time. No one wants to be attached to that name. King Ahab behaved in the vilest manner by going after idols like the Amorites the Lord drove out of Israel. When Ahab heard these words, he tore his clothes, put on sackcloth, and fasted. He lay in sackcloth and went around humbly. Then the word of the Lord came to the prophet Elijah. Have you noticed how King Ahab has humbled himself before me? Because he has humbled himself, I will not bring this disaster in his day, but I will bring it on his house in the days of his son. This is 1 Kings chapter 21.